Hello everybody and welcome to the Bulldog Report. This is Eddie Kalegi here for round one of the GMC softball tournament for 2021. As today a Blue Division contest here in the opening round as the third-seeded Metuchen Bulldogs play host to the number 14-seeded Dunellen Destroyers. These two teams finished first and second in the Blue Division. Metuchen finishing a perfect 10-0 in divisional play, 14-5 for the season, while Dunellen, coached by Patrick Appello, went 9-6 with a 9-2 Blue Division record. This Destroyers team coming off of a 16-7 2019 campaign. They lost in the first round of the GMC tournament, but rebounded to reach to the CJ Group 1 final where they fell to South Hunterdon. And as for Metuchen, we've already alluded to it a lot. A major turnaround from past seasons, but these last few games have not been great for them. Taking a look at this graphic, the duality of dog here, the first 14 games, they went 13-1. It was their best start since 2013. Their last 5 games, however, though they have been all against tough opponents, all 5 games against non-Blue Division opponents, they have gone 1-4. But we get ready to go here as Metuchen heading set. Other thing, run differential, they were plus 141 in those first 14 games. They've been outscored by 10 in the last 5. But should be a great one today between Metuchen and Dunellen. Taking a look at your GMC softball tournament bracket, winner of this game would go on to face the winner of Old Bridge and Spotswood. Metuchen has played tough games against both of those teams, falling to Old Bridge, defeating Spotswood already this season. These two teams already met this season as well, back on May the 4th here in the Brady Borough, with the Bulldogs coming out on top 14-0 in that game. Abby Kozo is on the mound, while Chloe Cassidy will lead off for Dunellen. First pitch from Kozo is a rise ball out of the zone, and we are underway.
We have the final results.
So Chloe Cassidy batting .426, 9 RBI this season. That rise ball drops in for a strike for Kozo, and the count is 1-1.
First place, Union Catholic Region.
Kozo the wind up the 1-1 offering. That one in there for a strike as well, and she's ahead 1-2. Kozo had all kinds of trouble in her last outing on the mound, allowed 10 earned runs a season high in Metuchen's loss to South Brunswick on Monday, as Cassidy bites that one off, and the count remains at 1-2. Cassidy, one of the many seniors on this veteran team. 1-2 pitch. Kozo tries for the called third strike, but a little off the plate. Count now at 2-2. Again, the lefty wind up. 2-2 pitch. Again, fouled back. So Cassidy fighting hard here as this at bat will reach its 6th pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out, top of the first, getting underway here in the GMC tournament. 2-2 pitch, that one off the plate as well. Good eye by Cassidy, and the count is now full at 3-2. So after Kozo got ahead initially, it's now 3-2, and this one is line drive right back at Kozo. She stops it with her glove. The throw to first is late, but lucky that Kozo is okay, as that ball was a screamer right back at her. Got the glove up. Coach Thomas is going to come and take a quick check as that ball came really hard back at Abby Kozo, and the leadoff batter is on, and let's make sure Kozo's okay after that. Might be a little more shaken up by the surprise there than anything else, as Cassidy ripped that one. Kozo had the glove up, deflected it, knocked it down, picked it up, made the throw to first, and it looks like she's going to be just fine. So a little bit of a scare there, but Dunellen, on a rocket off the bat of Chloe Cassidy, have the leadoff batter on. Second spot in the order, dropping a bunt, but it's fouled off. That might be Kayla Roberts. Can't see 100% from this vantage point right now with the numbers. Dunellen, their black uniforms with white and red on it. Metuchen in their typical blue shirts, black pants. This one is a bunt down the first base line. Throw to first is going to be late. And now there's first and second with nobody out. So an infield single there, and now Dunellen has 2 runners on and nobody out here in the first inning with their power hitter, Elizabeth Renovitz, at the plate. Renovitz, their best all-around player this season, hitting .558 at the plate with a team-high 5 homers, 21 RBI, also leads the club, while has also thrown 81 innings to a 2.16 ERA with 119 strikeouts. 2 on, nobody out. The 1-0 is cut on and missed by Renovitz. So Cassidy with the bullet right back at Kozo. Then a bunt misplayed by Metuchen. Very similar to the game against JFK we streamed. Metuchen had a poor defensive approach towards a bunt attempt. But a nice strike on the rise ball there from Kozo, and it's 1-2. So Abby Kozo has done a good job pitching through trouble in several games this season and is going to need some help early in the tournament. As that one is low, blocked by De La Fuente, and she looks the runners back to first and second. 2 strikes, 2 on, nobody out, top of the first. Kozo's pitch is a swing and a miss. Down goes Renovitz. First strikeout for Abby Kozo, and that's the first out of the game. As Megan Green, another power hitter, will come up. 20 RBI this season, a .476 average. She's their catcher. As the first pitch there, Cassidy was moving but looks back and heads back to second base. So Cassidy at second. I believe that's Roberts at first. 1 out after the strikeout of Renovitz. Kozo's pitch here to Megan Green is hit up the middle for a base hit into center field. Rounding third is Cassidy. She falls down between third and home, gets back up and comes across to score. Roberts advances to third. It's an RBI single for Megan Green, and the Destroyers take an early 1-0 lead. Nearly a calamity there as Cassidy took a spill between third and home, but the delayed throw from center gets her to score nonetheless, and Dunellen strikes first. 5 slot in the order here. Looks to be Liz Burr, the freshman. I do not have 100% of the Dunellen roster for this game, but hoping for the best with this, but we're going to make it work, obviously. So 1-0, still runners in the corners with 1 out here. 3 hits here for the Destroyers of the first 4 batters. That's the first one to leave the infield. Burr behind on that rise ball, fouls it back. So Roberts the runner at third, Green at first. Already a run home in the inning for Dunellen as they lead at 1-0. There's the pitch from Kozo. This one is a ground ball weakly, Flaherty, and they're going to say that's a foul ball. And Burr will head back to bat. There's the pitch. That one is taken low. Good eye by Burr.
Results for the boys. 4-1. In first place, Elizabeth High School with a time of 43.4.
Another offering here. That one is checked back at first, but another one misses for Kozo, and she's fallen behind in the count here to Burr.
With a time of 44.15. Fourth place, Linden.
Kozo again. Burr hits a ground ball that's past the diving Flaherty into right field, and that'll bring home another run. 4th hit of the inning here off of Abby Kozo, and Dunellen leads 2-0.
Please report to the press box for your medals.
So Kozo, who has been so good this season, struggling here, and you wonder if potentially that bit of a scare right at the beginning, where that ball was hit as a screamer right off her glove. Make sure everything's okay. We got a full-on team meeting here at home plate. But Roberts scored there. Green advanced to second. So singles here by Cassidy, Roberts, Green, and Burr. And Metuchen finds themselves in a 2-0 hole. We've already seen plenty of upsets on the baseball side of the bracket, of course with the top seed Monroe going down to JFK. And even Metuchen, it was an upset when they lost as the 8th seed at home against North Brunswick on Saturday, our last stream. But now trying to settle in for more. First pitch is a strike there to Emily Chalecki.
Once again, all medals to be picked up.
She'll drop to bunt, watches it go low.
The middle on the bleachers.
Green considered advancing to second. Doesn't have a ton of speed, but will head back there.
Thank you. All medals.
Leaf actually came in a little there from center field to try to cover second base. Metuchen has their outfield pretty shallow here, as that one popped foul. Actually, I believe this is Alexa Castro batting here. So 1 out. Kozo struck out the most dangerous hitter in this lineup, but has allowed 4 other singles, 2 to the outfield, 2 to the infield, and has struggled to locate here in the outside corner, and yet again does not get the call. Here in the top of the first, 3 versus 14, Metuchen in a 2-0 hole, just hoping to get out of this inning and let their offense do their job. As a swing there by Castro, and she goes down for the second out. First pitch there and for a strike. Believe this is Emily 2. So 2 outs, 2 on, top of the first, and already a 2-0 game. Zap again heads over to cover third, but Green not going anywhere. There's the windup in the pitch from Kozo. That one popped foul by 2. The senior batting .250 for RBI. Already 7th batter of the inning here. Kozo hoping to limit the damage. There's the pitch. That one is off the plate for a ball. See, the Bulldog bench doesn't seem too happy with that call. So it's 1-2. 4 singles this inning here for the Destroyers. Started with one right back at Kozo. 1-2 pitch. In there, strike 3 called, so Kozo does strike out the side, but not before 2 Dunellen runs come across to score. We'll head to the middle of the first inning. Bulldogs coming up. 2-0 game between the Destroyers and the Dogs. It's the first round of the GMC softball tournament right here on the Bulldog Report. So here we go. Bottom of the first inning. Bulldog offense ready to work. And looking at Metuchen's stellar offense throughout this season and some of the ones to watch for, it starts with Abby Kozo, who would like to help herself on the mound after allowing those 2 first-inning runs, batting .642, 2 home runs, 24 RBI. Leslie Flaherty and Brianna De La Fuente with 30 ribbies each. Annika Frick having a good year. Mia Zapp was up near 600. She's been slumping as of late. Same goes for Noelle Leaf, but both have still been contributing very highly on this roster. And looking at the mound for Dunellen, they have their star pitcher, Elizabeth Renovitz, 81 innings pitched, a 2.16 ERA, and 119 strikeouts on the bump this season. And just comparing it to the rest of the roster, they don't really use any other pitchers. Only 5 other innings this season have been pitched by someone other than Renovitz. Molly Duggan has pitched 2, Chloe Cassidy those other 3. And the Bulldog lineup here gets ready to roll. First pitch is off speed, taking low in the dirt for a ball. Metuchen down 2 here in the bottom of the first. Hoping to get the offense rolling here against a strong pitcher, but Renovitz has been a little off here. 2 pitches, very slow in the dirt. Green has dropped them both, and now behind 2-0. And that one, on the other hand, is taken high, and it's now a 3-ball, no-strike count here to start the game. Renovitz does not walk a lot of batters, but is behind 3-0 right here. Another offering. Atwood taken upstairs, ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk to start the game. So a leadoff walk there. Can't exactly tell who the leadoff hitter was. It was not Mia Zapp. Leaf is the 2-hole hitter and will be up next here. But Metuchen gets the leadoff batter on. I'll get that clarified as soon as possible, but now a pinch runner is going to come on. That might have been Kozo who actually batted the leadoff there. And it looks like Swikowski or Kachi, one of their typical pinch runners, is in. But Noelle Leaf, the 2-hitter, is up, and she'll take the first strike from Renovitz after 4 straight balls to walk the leadoff hitter. Leaf has struggled a bit, averaged down to 290 with 11 RBI as she drops to bunt, but that one squeaks down the third base line foul, and she's now behind 0-2. Like we said, Renovitz is a power pitcher, gets a lot of strikeouts, 119 Ks so far this season. And she's ahead 0-2 here on Leaf. Bottom of the first, Dogs down 2, nobody out. Leaf bends away, watches that one miss, and the count is now 1 ball, 2 strikes. One, 2. Leaf pops one up, first base side coming in, the running catch juggled and made, and that's the first out. Impressive play right there, and Leaf is retired. That'll bring up Mia Zapp. So Zapp is out of the leadoff hole. I'm pretty sure that was Abby Kozo who batted and was pinch run for. So it seems that Zapp and Kozo's slots in the order have been swapped. But Kozo not on the base paths. Can't tell exactly who that is. That's either Kachi or Swikowski. As that one misses to Zapp. Zapp hoping to see some better pitches here with runners on base. She has really struggled as of late as that average has now dipped below 400 as she takes that one over for a strike. So Renovitz way off through her first 4 pitches, but has settled down since as she hopes to preserve this early Dunellen lead. The Destroyers only played 15 games in the regular season, but finished 9-2. Good enough for second in the blue division. And Metuchen already beat them 14-0 this season. Is that one booted by Cassidy? She could have stopped it. Runner held at second, but that's a single. First hit of the day here for Metuchen. And Mia Zapp breaks the cold stretch, and now Metuchen has 2 on and 1 out. So nice pizza hitting there from Zapp. And it's now first and second with Brianna De La Fuente, Metuchen's regular cleanup hitter coming up, the sophomore. Second in average at 532. 6 homers and also 30 RBI. Tied for the team lead in RBI, team leader in homers. He's had a great year. As Kachi is the runner at second. Zap at first, 1 out. Bulldogs down 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Winner of this game faces the winner of Spotswood and Old Bridge. As this one is roped to right center field, it's going to get down and get past both outfielders. Now they can all run. Tying run's going to score. Here comes De La Fuente to third. She's going to stop there with a 2-run game-tying triple. And the Dogs and the Destroyers are even at 2. De La Fuente barreled one up, found the right center field gap, brings home Kachi and Zap. And it's a brand new ball game as we're tied at 2, and Metuchen has the go-ahead run at third base now with Leslie Flaherty coming up. Clutch play there for De La Fuente, her third triple of the season, now up to 32 RBI as Leslie Flaherty fouls off that first pitch. So swapping Kozo and Zap in the order pays off. They both reach base, and now both of their spots come home to score on the game-tying 2-run triple from Brianna De La Fuente. And Flaherty rips one up the middle. That's a base hit, and it'll give Metuchen the lead. De La Fuente scores an RBI single for Leslie Flaherty, and Metuchen takes a 3-2 advantage. Perfect swing right there, and it's enough to give them the lead. And now Kylie Flaherty will bat with her sister at first base. And Metuchen now leading 3-2. So after a less than stellar opening inning for Kozo, possibly caused by nearly getting hit with that liner right at the start, Kylie Flaherty will bat here, with Metuchen leading 3-2 in the bottom of the first, as that pitch from Renovitz drops in for a strike. So still just 1 out in the inning. 3 consecutive hits here for Metuchen. Flaherty just barely taps that one foul. Kozo walked on 4 pitches, leaf popped out, but then a single from Zap, 2-run triple from De La Fuente evened the score. Flaherty's single was enough to give Metuchen the 3-2 lead. Renovitz takes her time. Here's the pitch to Flaherty, and another slow pitch off the plate outside for a ball. I mean, this Metuchen team did damage back on May 4th when they faced Dunellen and won 14-0 as Flaherty goes down swinging. First strikeout for Renovitz. That's 2 outs here in the inning, and it'll bring up Annika Frick. Frick has been heating up. Average now up to 491. 2 homers, 25 RBI. Grounder to second. Clean play. Throw to first. Side retired. But Metuchen takes the lead. 3 runs in the inning. Started off with a big triple from De La Fuente. Then an RBI single from Flaherty. Dogs lead at 3-2. We head to the second. Eddie Kalegi here. The GMC tournament round 1 here on the Bulldog Report. Top of the second here, Abby Kozo pitching, and the first one in there for a strike. Metuchen leading it 3-2. Kozo allowed 2 runs in the top of the first inning. Also got clipped by a line drive right at the beginning as she's quickly ahead 0-2 here. But Metuchen responded with 3 in the bottom half of the inning and are now on tap 3-2. Now there is rain in the forecast, but I was checking my weather app. Doesn't look like that's going to be coming until around 6:30 or so. So hopefully that has no impediment on today's action. That one taking low for a ball. I believe this is Emily Chalecki at the plate. Another pitch from Kozo. And another one that misses. Last one low, this one high. So one away, and the first pitch here for a strike. Dropping the bunt, but that one's over for a strike, and the count is now 0-2. 0-2 pitch, skips away, goes to the backstop. Count is now 1-2. Kozo hoping for a clean inning after the troubles in the first. And that one's a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts at the 8 and 9 hole for Kozo. It's now 5 for the game. She's up to 102 on the season. Her third strikeout in the first got her to triple-digit Ks for 2021. And now 2 away as Chloe Cassidy bats. Cassidy hit a screaming single off the glove of Kozo in the first inning and came around to score. This one, another one back at Kozo. Softly hit, though, fielding at second. A little bit of a high throw, but Flaherty stays on the bag. That'll retire the side. Very quick 1-2-3 inning for Kozo. A pair of Ks and a ground out. Heading to the bottom of the second. Dogs up 3-2 here on the Bulldog Report. So here we go, bottom of the second inning. Eddie Kalegi here on the Bulldog Report. GMC Tournament Softball first round. Metuchen the 3 seed against the 14-seeded Dunellen Destroyers. Dogs leading 3-2. 8-9-1 in their order. Presumably McGrath, Pachalski, and Kozo. As that pitch taken off the plate for a ball. Facing a pitcher like Renovitz, getting ahead in the count is really key when you know that she can strike you out. Already 119 strikeouts this season, already 1 today. As McGrath fights that one off and stays alive. Carly Pachalski waits on deck. Bulldogs by 1, bottom 2. Nobody out. Wind up, here's the pitch from Renovitz. McGrath goes the other way. That one's going to drop into right field for a base hit. It's a leadoff single for Mary McGrath, the freshman, and Metuchen cooking again here in the second. Excellent swing to go right with the pitch and drive it into right field. And McGrath has an opposite field single, and now Carly Pachalski will bat. And she pops that one foul off into the front yard of the house nearby. Pachalski, a junior, batting .321, 13 RBI, has mostly been hitting out of the 8 and 9 hole. The one thing that's so good for Metuchen is their future. 6 of the 9 starters today are either freshmen or sophomores. Only 2 seniors on the roster, Leaf and Frick. As that one just misses for Renovitz. Seems a little frustrated there. She couldn't get the call on that one. Another one from Renovitz. This one sky high, second base, tranging over, and the catch is made. And that's the first out of the inning. So Pachalski pops out. That'll get it back up to Abby Kozo, who drew a 4-pitch walk. Kozo has been a huge hitter. She's tied for 4th in the state in base hits this season. It's cooled off a little bit, but started the season with 30 hits in her first 39 plate appearances. As this one is driven through the hole, talk about hits, one goes through right there. Abby Kozo with a 1-out single, and Metuchen's got 2 on. So Kozo with her first hit, now 2 on, 1 out, and Noelle Leaf stepping up, hoping to extend the Metuchen lead. This one popped up third base side. Roberts trending over the base, almost lost her footing, and makes a great catch there for the second out. So Leaf swinging at the first pitch, maybe not the best thing to do with runners in scoring position and 1 out. And she'll pop out for the second time today. And now here's Mia Zapp, who singled her first time up, and she watches that one go high for a ball. So McGrath at second, Kozo at first. 2 outs here, bottom of the second. Dogs leading at 3-2. And that one's going to get away from Green on a weird hop. McGrath advances to third. Kozo to second. Kachi is running for Kozo. And there's 2 in scoring position. So the Bulldogs with a prime chance to tack on 2 more here with 2 outs with a base hit from Zapp. And she'll get into one and rocket one out to center. But a great catch out there will retire the side. So Metuchen with a pair of hits, but they'll go out empty-handed. We're through 2. Metuchen leading at 3-2. Eddie Kalegi here, GMC Tournament, first round, live on the Bulldog Report. So a thank you to everybody tuning in today here on the Bulldog Report. Eddie Kalegi, Abby Kozo will be on the mound. She has pitched the ball really well this season, looking at the Bulldogs. 87 2/3 innings pitched for her. High inning total. ERA right around 3 with 97 strikeouts. Been a really good season for her. She'll face the heart of the order as Roberts drops to bunt. She already reached base on a bunt single back in the first and later came around to score. Metuchen leading at 3-2. They allowed 2 in the top of the first, scored 3 in the bottom of the inning. Kozo pitched a 1-2-3 second, but now has to deal with Roberts, Renovitz, and Green, 2, 3, 4 in the order. Kayla Roberts batting .386, 14 RBI this season. Kozo with 5 strikeouts through the first 2 innings. Again, Roberts drops to bunt, pulls it back wisely, and takes it for a ball. Another windup from Kozo. Another time dropping a bunt. This time it's in for a strike. Roberts has a ton of speed. We saw her cover the ground to make that impressive catch on the Noel Leaf pop-up back in the second. Another one from Abby Kozo. That one is a swing and a miss. And 2 strikes now on Roberts. 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Kayla Roberts with Renovitz on deck. Here's the pitch. This one is grounded through the whole base hit. Carly Pachalski almost got it, making the turn, heading to second. Throw's going to be late, and Kayla Roberts has a hard hit double up the middle, showing off the speed there to turn what would be a single for most into a leadoff double. And the Destroyers have the tying run in scoring position. Pachalski, it kind of took an awkward hop, couldn't handle it. Probably should have been a little bit deeper to field that ball, but you can't really blame her because of what their expectations were from Roberts after she had dropped down a bunt. You'd want to have the infield close so someone could cover first if Flaherty had to vacate and try to grab that ball. So that'll bring up Renovitz, who was a victim of the K, struck out swinging in the first. Kozo's first pitch here is upstairs for a ball. So Metuchen up 3-2, top of the third, 3 seed against 14 seed. Face the winner of the Old Bridge Spotswood contest in the GMC quarters this weekend. Metuchen with the 3 seed. There was a lot of debate about them or Monroe. They got it. Nonetheless, 2 home games guaranteed for the Dogs if they keep things going into the quarters. As that one's in there for a strike. St. Thomas Aquinas, the top seed. Metuchen lost 2-0 to them earlier this season. That one a swing and a miss by Renovitz. And now 2 strikes here for Kozo. But St. Thomas, the 2-time defending GMC champs, seated highly as Renovitz bats that one foul. Roberts at first, nobody out, top 3, 3-2 Metuchen. That one, a rise ball that gets away from Kozo, way upstairs for a ball. Megan Green, who singled home a run in the first pop, is up next as this one popped right side. Flaherty ranging over, makes the catch. Roberts will tag, heads to third, gets hit by the ball on the run, but is into third base safely, I think. She got hit from behind. I don't know exactly where that ball hit her, but the throw, McGrath was behind the runner, and the throw ended up getting her. Nonetheless, great job there by Flaherty to range over and make the play. So 1 out, runner on third, as Dunellen hopes to tie the game with Megan Green, who's already singled home a run back in the first. She takes the first pitch high and away for ball 1. Green, a .476 hitter, 20 RBI. One of 6 seniors on this roster, so there's going to be a lot of turnover for this Dunellen team. Much like we talked about in basketball for them. And a lot of these same girls play on the girls' basketball team as well. So it's really a transition time for female athletics in Dunellen. As that one popped foul.
Manchester, and Rolla. Your medals are ready for pickup in the press box. Thank you.
Roberts at third, 1 out, Metuchen by 1. Kozo's pitch to Green is just off the plate for a ball. Both Kozo and Renovitz are working with very small strike zones in this game and not much margin for error. As Green fouls that one back. So 2 strikes now on Megan Green. The freshman Liz Burr is on deck. 1 out, top 3. Metuchen leads at 3-2. Kozo the windup. Here's the pitch. Green again fouls one off, and it's another lengthy at bat here. And of course, the pitching style in softball doesn't create as much stress on the arm, but you can still get fatigued, especially on a hot day like today, where temperatures approaching 90 degrees. And Green shoots one. What a catch by Pachelski. Tries to throw back to third. Roberts dives back in. Heads up play. Pachelski sticks the glove out, catches the liner, and that's out number 2. A bullet right back at Pachelski. She makes the play at second. And Kozo now will look to get out of the inning, facing Liz Burr, who singled home a run last inning. And that first pitch is going to miss for a ball. Kozo's pitch here is a ground ball through the whole base hit that'll tie the game. It's an RBI single. And we're tied at 3. Actually, I believe that is Isabel Parcells. Apologies for that. Liz Burr is in the 8 hole, but Parcells comes through and we're tied at 3. So now Alexa Castro will take that first pitch in there for a strike. And has to be frustrating here for Kozo, who was so close to getting out of this inning and having 2 scoreless in a row. But now we're even at 3. And the second RBI for Parcells, who dives back in safely on the pitch out. Metuchen will have De La Fuente and the Flaherty sisters due up in the 3rd. Kozo's pitch here to Castro is a swing and a miss. Alexa Castro has been solid defensively, but has struggled with the bat, hitting to a tune of just a 147 average with 10 RBI. Again, the pitch from Kozo, that one is going to miss upstairs for a ball. So Parcells the runner at first. There's the pitch. This one a ground ball. Pachelski fields it cleanly. Quick throw to first. Got her. Side retired. But Dunellen evens the score. RBI single for Isabel Parcells. Heading to the bottom of the 3rd. Tied at 3. This is the Bulldog Report, the GMC softball tournament. Eddie Kalegi will be back in a moment. Bottom 3, Eddie Kalegi here on the Bulldog Report. Tie game, Isabel Parcells with her second RBI single of the day, this time bringing home Kayla Roberts. As we're tied at 3 now, Metuchen, though, has the heart of their order coming up. It'll start with Brianna De La Fuente, who tripled home a pair back in the 1st.
Sixth place from Metuchen High School, Caroline Schleif with a time of 2:19.73.
De La Fuente has had a very strong season, 532, 6 home runs, 30 RBI. She takes that one in their first strike. That one low for a ball. This one is driven deep by De La Fuente, and it's going to get down once again deep out there. De La Fuente is going to round second. She'll head towards third. Throw coming in. She'll slide in safely. It's her second triple of the game. Brianna De La Fuente, 2 3-baggers in the first 3 innings, and Metuchen has the go-ahead run 90 feet away. What a swing right there. And now Leslie Flaherty, who brought home De La Fuente for the go-ahead run back in the first, will look to do the exact same thing right here. But De La Fuente is driving these pitches from Renovitz both times, deep out to right center field, and even with the outfielders playing pretty deep, she's been able to get it over their heads. So 2 triples, 2 RBI, and looking to score for the second time today, as that one misses high for a ball to Leslie Flaherty. Bottom of the third, nobody out. Metuchen and Dunellen tied at 3 here in round 1 of the GMC softball tournament. Kylie Flaherty on deck. Leslie Flaherty having a huge season as a freshman, batting .534, 5 home runs, 30 RBI, and has played really well defensively out in right field as well, as that one gets in for a strike from Renovitz. The one thing, Metuchen's lineup is making a lot of contact with Renovitz pitches. 119 strikeouts all season, just 1 today, as this one is over the head of Chalecki in second base. Brianna De La Fuente will score. Leslie Flaherty drives in the go-ahead run for the second time today, and Metuchen leads it 4-3. Chalecki made a leaping effort there, but just got over her head. Metuchen back in front, 4-3. And now Kylie Flaherty, who struck out last time, will face Renovitz with Leslie Flaherty over at first. So an awesome swing right there from Flaherty. A blooper does the job, and Metuchen back out in front here in the last of the third. Still nobody out in the inning. 7 hits so far for the Metuchen offense here through 2+ innings against Renovitz, who has pitched to a 2.16 ERA in 14 appearances this season. Has pitched all but 1 game. That one had Cassidy and Duggan pitch. But Renovitz was a little erratic in the first, but now is just throwing a lot of straight down the middle pitches, which have not been panning out for them. So Leslie Flaherty at first base, 4-3 your score. And Kylie Flaherty calls time and steps out of the box. De La Fuente picking up right where she left off last game as that pitch goes to the backstop and Leslie Flaherty advances into scoring position. So a wild pitch there from Renovitz, but De La Fuente had 2 hits against South Brunswick and drove in a run. Has 2 hits already today, 2 triples, 2 runs scored, 2 RBI. And that one is going to be in there for strike 3. Second time Kylie Flaherty's gone down on strikes, this time looking. That's the first out of the inning, and Annika Frick now will try to drive in Flaherty and extend the Bulldog lead, and she watches that first pitch rise up for a ball. Dunellen will have 2 Burr and Chalecki due up in the 4th inning, as Metuchen currently leading 4-3 here at the bottom of the third with 1 out. As Frick takes that one for a strike. Annika Frick rounded to second back in the first inning for the third out. Completely fooled by that pitch as it tails inside. Swing way off, and now 2 strikes here on Frick. Mary McGrath stands on deck for the Dogs. That one is going to miss for a ball to Annika Frick. Frick batted .352 back in 2019 and takes that one high for a ball. And for she and Leaf, of course, you never know when the last game will be. And as seniors, they want to really come up key here. Leaf already had a big hit on senior day. As a nice play, fielding her position is Renovitz as she flicks to first for the second out, while Flaherty advances to third. So if you can't get a hit, Frick does the next best thing, hits the ball to the right side, gets the runner over, and now McGrath will try to bring her home. So 2 outs, runner on first. Here is McGrath, who singled back in the second and was stranded at third base. Metuchen left 2 on in the second, couldn't score, but have scratched across the go-ahead run here to make it 4-3. And stepping off goes McGrath, and she calls time. Renovitz the windup. That pitch is looped first base side, coming in no play for Parcells. Two outs, runner at third, 4-3 Metuchen leads. McGrath fouls another one off. Carly Pachalski, the 9-hitter on deck. Bulldogs hoping to extend the lead here in the third and give Kozo some more breathing room against that tough Dunellen lineup. There's the pitch from Renovitz. McGrath drives one out to short, and it gets past Cassidy. She misplays it. It's going to go into right center field. It's an RBI for Mary McGrath, and Metuchen now leads it 5-3. A costly error there for Chloe Cassidy. Dunellen's defense has not been very sound here in the third, and it's cost them a pair of runs, and it's now 5-3. First pitch swinging here, coming in, and unable to make the running catch there as Pachalski hits it, but I believe that one was right of the foul line where it fell, and it was, and she'll head back to bat. But Mary McGrath there with a hard swing. Cassidy could have gotten to it if she was positioned right. Tried to scoop it up. Couldn't do so. And now Pachalski looks to extend the inning for the Dogs, who won 14-0 in 5 innings when these teams faced off, while Kozo pitched a 5-inning no-hitter. Annika Frick led the team with 3 RBI that day, while 3 other hitters had 2 apiece, including Pachalski. Abby Kozo's on deck. Pachalski's 6th batter of the inning started with a triple from De La Fuente. That one high. Flaherty brought her home with a single. Then back-to-back outs, and then the error by Cassidy most recently on the ball struck by McGrath brought home Flaherty. As Pachalski takes that one in there for a strike. And it'll be the bottom 3 in the Destroyer order due up against Kozo in the top of the 4th. This one a bouncing ball over to short, and that one gets through for a base hit. And the inning continues here from Metuchen, trouble getting it in. Renovitz picks up Roberts there, but now 2 runners on for Abby Kozo. First hit for Pachalski. 8 hits so far for Metuchen. As that first pitch misses outside for a ball. Kozo so far 1 for 1, a walk and a single, and scored a run back in the first. That one in there for a strike. Nice pitch there from Renovitz. So the switch between Kozo and Zap, batting first and third, the swap has paid off pretty well so far, and now has set up Kozo, Metuchen's best hitter, with a 2-out RBI chance to give herself a bigger lead. And the error by Cassidy has proven costly. It's prolonged the inning. Metuchen already with 2 home, looking for more, as that one goes low for a ball. Dogs 5, Destroyers 3, bottom 3. Eddie Kalegi here on the Bulldog Report. Right now, still good weather. Chance of storms later, but still staying clear. A nice sunny day. It's just hot for now as Kozo draws her second walk, and the bases are now loaded for Leaf. Second free pass issued by Renovitz today. Both have been to Kozo, and now Noel Leaf with a big bases loaded chance. As that first pitch taken high and away for a ball. Leaf is 0 for 2, has popped out twice. That one is going to get in there for a strike. Mia Zap is on deck. Leaf the 8th batter of the inning. Started with a triple for De La Fuente. Flaherty singled her home, 2 outs. Then a potential third out on a grounder by McGrath was booted by Cassidy. Brought home another run, and a few in a row of reach to make it bases loaded, but now 2 strikes on Leaf. Noel Leaf has struggled at the plate this season. Came in batting .290, 11 RBI, and has popped out weakly twice today. And again, one up in the air. Couple converge. They won't be able to get to it, go. Probably lost that one in the sun as Parcells couldn't make the play. And the at-bat will continue. Mia Zap, the only Bulldog to not bat yet this inning, is due up next. And the fact that they're doing this against Renovitz, who has a 2.16 ERA this season, really impressive. As Leaf watches that one go low for a ball. Bulldogs by 2, last of the third. McGrath at third. Pachelski at second. Kachi at first, and this one is driven by Noel Leaf out to right center field, and it's going to get down. They can't get it. Pachelski scores, as does McGrath. Stabbing at third is Kachi. It's a 2-run double from Noel Leaf, and Metuchen has blown it open and lead it 7-3. Proof that an error can completely change the course of a game. They could have gotten out of the inning down just 1. It's now 7-3. Still 2 in scoring position here for Zap, the 9th batter of the inning. Renovitz with the pitch. That one's in there for a strike. Zap 1 for 2. Singled and scored in the first. Flew out to center in the second. That one upstairs for a ball. Gets Green to stand up. Bunch of hard hit balls today. Of course, De La Fuente, who's on deck, has hit a couple of triples deep. But that one from Leaf, one of her best struck balls of the season. And Leaf and Zap have struggled mightily through the end of the regular season, but both seem to have snapped out of the funk here, and what a perfect time to do it as we start the postseason. Though for Zap there, she'll go down swinging. Metuchen strands a pair, but not before plating 4 here in the 3rd inning. We'll head to the top of the 4th. Dogs 7, Destroyers 3. Eddie Kalegi here on the Bulldog Report. So here we go, top 4. Inning will start here with Emily 2. 254 RBI this season. Bottom third of the Dunellen order after Renovitz allowed 4 runs to cross the plate for the Dogs in the bottom of the third. That one nubbed foul. Two ready, Kozo ready. Here's the pitch, that one high for a ball. Swing and a miss there, down goes 2. So Kozo starts the inning with a K. Second down, time 2's gone down on strikes. 6th strikeout for Kozo here through 3 1/3 innings, up to 103 this season.
6 more to go for the girls and start the boys.
And that'll bring up Liz Burr now, as that first pitch misses for a ball. Burr batting .235 with an RBI this season. Chalecki due up next. That one misses as well for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes now. Kozo has fared very well against the bottom of the order. It's been the top of the order that has given her trouble today. Metuchen batted around, had all 9 come to the plate in the third, as that one breaks over for a strike. There's the pitch from Kozo. That one chopped foul weakly. Burr struck out looking back in the second. Metuchen will have 4, 5, 6 up in the bottom of the fourth. Another one grounded weakly foul. So Burr continues to stay alive here against Abby Kozo, who of course had the little scare in the first inning. The line drive right back at her, got her glove up to deflect it. But it seemed just fine since. But misses there for a ball. Full count now. Here's the pitch. Another one popped foul. The one thing, there's been a lot of deep pitch counts we've seen for Kozo. A lot of these 2-2, 3-2 counts, then another one here. Flaherty and McGrath both playing very far in, as that one is going to be in there, strike 3 called. So Burr goes down looking. Second time she's gone down on strikes. 7th strikeout for Kozo, and she'll look to strike out the side in an inning for the first time today as she faces Chalecki. Emily Chalecki, the freshman second baseman, batting .286 with 4 RBI this season. First pitch is going to miss low for a ball. Chalecki struck out swinging back in the second. Kozo hoping to finish this off, get a shutdown inning down. She allowed 2 runs in the first, 1-2-3 inning in the second, then allowed another run to score in the third, but is now pitching with a 4-run lead. There's another offering. That one's in there for a strike. A little more cloud cover coming over, but still a very nice day. Just really hot out there. That one is bunted out of play. %50 chance of thunderstorms at 7 o'clock. But looking like clear blue skies until then. As Chalecki takes that one just off the plate, and it's another lengthy at bat here for Kozo to deal with. 3 seed against 14 seed, as we've alluded to. Winner will face the winner of Old Bridge and Spotswood in the quarters. Is that one on the outside corner called strike 3? 8 strikeouts now for Kozo. She K's the side in the top of the 4th. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Metuchen still on top 7-3. Eddie Kalegi here live on the Bulldog Report. Bottom of the 4th inning coming up. Metuchen looking to pick up right where they left off in the 3rd here against Renovitz, who allowed 4 runs. Would have been much less damage had it not been for that error by Chloe Cassidy with 2 outs. It was 4-3 at that point. But it caused 4 more runs to bat and 4 more batters to come to the plate and 3 more runs to score. De La Fuente has been cruising at the plate. 2 triples slammed into the right center field gap, has scored twice, and has a pair of RBI. She'll bat to lead off the bottom of the 4th. First pitch, taking all the way. That one's going to miss for a ball. De La Fuente and Flaherty have combined for 4 hits, 2 triples, 3 runs scored, 4 RBI. Metuchen's 2 top RBI hitters doing their job so far. Each up to now 32 RBI this season, tied for the team lead. Renovitz ready, and another one cracked deep by De La Fuente. Tracking and juggling catch out there. What a play there for the out. Nice job to get to that ball. And that's going to be the first out of the inning. Center fielder almost dropped it, but De La Fuente is retired. Flaherty now, that one's going to be deflected. Throw to first is going to be late. Leslie Flaherty with the hustle has her 3rd single of the day. So De La Fuente retired, Flaherty is not, and now she's on base with speed, with her sister helping to move her over. Kylie Flaherty batting .447 this season, 2 home runs, 12 RBI, and takes the first pitch from Renovitz, high for ball 1. One-0. That one will miss outside. 2 balls, no strikes. .20 is in there for a strike. So now 2-1 here on Flaherty. Bottom 4, Metuchen up 7-3 with a runner on first and 1 out. This one is popped way up near the bleachers up here, as that one is probably the closest the ball's going to get to where we broadcast the game from. Meanwhile, that's foul to Flaherty. Another pitch, that one swung on and missed. Kylie Flaherty has struggled today. She'll be the only person that Renovitz has succeeded against. She's 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. So 2 outs now. Here's Annika Frick, 0 for 2 with a pair of ground outs, and she hits one sharply on the ground, played cleanly by Chalecki, and flips to first, inning over. So a single by Flaherty, nothing more from Metuchen in the 4th. We'll head to the top of the 5th. Dogs still up 7-3 here in the GMC softball tournament. Opening ground. Eddie Kalegi here live on the Bulldog Report. Top 5, Eddie Kalegi here on the Bulldog Report. Bulldogs facing off with the Dunellen Destroyers. Metuchen has dropped 4 out of their last 5, but have done very well against fellow Blue Division opponents, a perfect 10-0 in divisional play, and got graced with a 3 seed to get to face off with one of those Blue Division teams in Dunellen to start off the GMC tournament. And despite a slow start, are doing well now, leading this game 7-3. It'll be the top of the order here to face Abby Kozo in the Destroyers half of the 5th. It'll start with Chloe Cassidy, who's 1 for 2. Hit that bullet single back at Kozo, which was a little bit of a scare, but Kozo was okay after that. And then she got her to ground out to second in the 2nd, as Cassidy watches that one go by for a strike. Kozo's retired 6 of the last 7 hitters and struck out the last 3. That one just misses a little off the plate for a ball. McGrath and Flaherty playing in, as that one is in there for a strike. We've seen a lot of ground balls from Dunellen, and it's rare to see the infield just constantly in, but that's what we see. And it's going to bite them there as that one gets over the head of Flaherty and into right field for a single. So Chloe Cassidy with her 2nd hit of the day, and leadoff batter on here for Dunellen in the top of the 5th. So Flaherty playing pretty far in. It does not pay off. And now there's speed at first with Kayla Roberts, who's got a single and a double and 2 runs scored to her credit. Drops to bunt. Takes that one for a strike. Roberts put down a perfect bunt down the first base line, almost a mirror image of a play we saw against St. Thomas last week. She's going to swing this time and misses for a strike. Metuchen defensively has been streaky, especially on that right side of the infield with Pachalski and Kylie Flaherty. Played very well in the outfield, though, this season, as that one is going to miss for a ball. Kozo, the primary pitcher, has also done a great job fielding her position this season. And that one is a swing and a miss. Down goes Roberts. 9 strikeouts now for Kozo, and that's the first out of the 5th. So Roberts, who had been pesky today, retired for the first time, and that'll bring up Elizabeth Renovitz, the pitcher, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out to right field. And she takes that first pitch up and away for a ball. Touching up 7-3 here. 1 out, runner at first. A 1-1 count in the top of the 5th. 6 hits so far from Dunellen among just 4 players. Everybody else has an offer. Kozo has not walked a batter yet today. Actually, 7 hits, excuse me. 3 players with multi-hit games to this point. Cassidy, Robertson, Parcells, and that's a swing and a miss up and out of the zone. Renovitz goes fishing, batting .558 this season, but hasn't done anything today. 0 for 3, second time she's gone on down on strikes. That's double-digit Ks now for Kozo, 10 strikeouts for 4 2/3 innings. And with 2 outs, here's Megan Green, who watches that first one miss low and away. Green singled, was stranded at second back in the first, and lined out to second on a nice play by Pachalski back in the third. Metuchen will have McGrath, Pachalski, and Kozo due up against Renovitz in the bottom of the 5th, leading 7-3. Out in there for a strike. Bulldogs recently have played some pretty close games against Old Bridge and Spotswood, who would be their next opponents, one of those 2 teams. They beat Spotswood 1-0 on the road. They lost to Old Bridge 2-0. Pachalski knocks that one down, flicks to first. Nice recovery there after it popped out of her glove. And Metuchen threw the inning unscathed. Cassidy stranded at second. We will head to the bottom of the 5th. Metuchen still on top 7-3. Here on the Bulldog Report, it's the GMC Softball Tournament for 2021. What an exciting game we've seen so far. Metuchen looking to extend their lead. It's 7-3 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. They'll have McGrath, Pachalski, and Kozo due up in the 5th. And as we alluded to, it's been quite a dichotomy for this team. Looking back at their first 14 games, got off to that best start since 2013, had a run differential of plus 141. But in the last 5, all tough opponents, they knew the second half of the schedule was going to be a difficult test. But 3 straight losses, picked up a win, dropped another one on Monday against South Brunswick to close out the regular season schedule, and a run differential of minus 10. But today I've gotten back on track, albeit against a Blue Division team. But they lead 7-3 here as we enter the bottom of the 5th.
Results for the boys' 800-meter run. Tashir Ballard from Rawley with a time of 1:11.10 in first place.
So the at-bat starts here against Mary McGrath, who has had a pretty good game out of the 8-hole, batting .271, 12 RBI this season. One of 2 freshmen in the lineup. I went in there for a strike. McGrath singled in the second, reached on an error, and later scored in the third. Pitch from Renovitz. Kind of lost her balance there a little bit on the mound as that one was way out of the zone.
6th place, Gabriel Herrera, Elizabeth High School, with a time of 2:03.21. Please come get your medals up in the press box, gentlemen. Nice job.
That one goes right through the wickets of Green as it skips by. Busy day here at Metuchen High School. There was baseball practice going on. Of course, the softball game going on. We also have a pretty large track meet going on in the heat right in front of us. As a free pass, and McGrath is on with a leadoff walk. 3rd walk issued of the day for Renovitz. It's now Pachalski, who singled and scored in the third, 1 for 2 today, will bat. Pinch runner in now for McGrath. Can't tell if that's Kachi or Swikowski. I think that's Swikowski this time around. But Pachalski nonetheless is at the plate. And she takes the first pitch in there for a strike. Bottom of the fifth, nobody out. Already the 27th Metuchen player to bat. As this one is hit on a rope in between the second baseman and shortstop, Chilecki and Cassidy, and threw for a base hit. So Pachalski with their second single. Another hard hit ball. And Metuchen's got 2 on and nobody out, with Abby Kozo stepping to the plate. Kozo's been on base 3 times today. Walked in the first, singled in the second, walked in the third, and now up here in the fifth, and driving one. It's off the glove of Cassidy. Everybody's going to move up. That would have been a difficult play. I'm scoring that as a single in my book because it's not really an error on her. Can't blame her. That ball was rocketed and way out of her reach. She was able to get the glove on it, but it skipped away. But Cassidy nonetheless has another defensive blunder on a play that could potentially have been made. Wasn't going to be easy. And now the bases are loaded with nobody out. And Metuchen with a chance to blow this wide open with the 2-hole and Noelle Leaf up. Leaf broke out of her slump in a big way with a huge 2-run double last inning as she watches that one miss outside for a ball. Umpire's a smaller strike zone. When you have Leaf up there, one of the shorter players out there, that strike zone becomes all the more minute. Trolero the runner at third. Pachalski at second. Kozo at first. Bases loaded, nobody out. 7-3, bottom 5. Metuchen on top against Dunellen here in the GMC softball tournament. Opening round. There's the pitch. This one is chopped over the head of Roberts, but just foul. If that ball had stayed fair, that could have really descended into chaos with Trolero having to hold up and everybody else wanting to move. This one is another one hit hard by Leaf, but tracking back and making the catch as the center fielder. It will bring home a run as Trolero crosses the plate, and Metuchen now leads at 8-3. So sac fly for Leaf as she brings home a run. 3 RBI now for Noelle Leaf today. She only had 11 coming in this season, so a huge day for the senior. Dogs now up 8-3. And that'll bring up Zap. Struck out swinging in the third, 1 for 3 today, with a single and a run scored. As this one is falling fast, it'll get down for a base hit. Rounding third goes Pachalski. She's going to score as the throw comes in very weakly. Kachi, the pinch runner for Kozo, moves over to third. It's an RBI single now for Zap, and Metuchen tacks on another, as it's now a 9-3 game. So the Bulldogs, like we said, have done such a good job this season, and against Dunellen won 14-0. Dunellen, credit to them, they came in with a really good fight today, trying to catch a Metuchen team that has been struggling with the bat and on the mound, but haven't done much so far today. As this one, a grounder back to third. De La Fuente is going to reach there, so they didn't get the tag on Kachi or step on the base. So now it looks like the bases are loaded on an infield single for De La Fuente. So now sacks are full for Flaherty, who will bat from the other side of the plate this time. Flies one out to right field and out of play and foul into the massive foul territory over by the soccer field. So Roberts tried to step on third, tried to get the tag on Kachi, but Kachi, a heads-up base runner, the sophomore, was able to put an end to that. And De La Fuente by then was down the line. So Renovitz trying to get them out of the inning, still just one out here. Sacks full, 2 already home in a 9-3 game. Flaherty 3 for 3. So that one gets to the backstop, but nobody's going anywhere. Kachi at third, Zapp at second, De La Fuente at first. Metuchen by 6. Here's the pitch. This one, a sharp grounder past Cassidy through the whole base hit. Kachi scores. Zapp right behind her. Advancing to third is De La Fuente. Cruising into second with a 2-run RBI double is Leslie Flaherty. Have yourself a day, Leslie Flaherty. 4 hits on the day. Another run batted in. She's driven in 4 this afternoon. And Metuchen now leads it 11-3. Great game for Leslie Flaherty, a freshman standout. And with this team losing 2 outfielders, of course, in the graduating class, their left fielder Frick, center fielder Leaf, Flaherty will become the staple of that outfield as this one is looped foul left side. Those are 2 foul balls that have actually gone pretty high up near our press box. Of course, as I've explained, our vantage point, we're facing the football field, which is adjacent to the softball field. Softball game is actually happening behind where we have the broadcast going. Flaherty, the 8th girl to bat this inning. And she's going to hit one sharply on the ground. Chalecki picks it up, flicks to first. That's out number 2, but another run comes home to score. It's now 12-3. So Flaherty, who was 0 for 3 to this point, comes through here to bring home a run. And still, now Leslie Flaherty is over at third. First pitch to Frick is going to miss for a ball. So it's just a tough day here for Renovitz. Like we said, the 2.16 ERA, 119 strikeouts, only 4 Ks today as that one flicked foul down the first base side by Frick. Frick and Flaherty, the only 2 dogs without a hit today. Flaherty now 0 for 4. Annika Frick 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts. Trying to get one into the outfield for the first time today. And this one is hit to Chalecki. She picks it up, throws to first, throw a little high, but they'll get Frick by a step to end the 5th inning. But Metuchen continues to pour it on. They put up a 5 spot here in the 5th and lead it 12-3. We'll head to the top of the 6th inning. Eddie Kalegi right here on the Bulldog Report. Top of the 6th inning coming up here. Metuchen playing really well. Another look at how the GMC tournament stacks up for softball. And as you can see, a win for Metuchen would put them against either Old Bridge or Spotswood, with that bracket leading all the way to South Brunswick, who Metuchen just lost to on the road on Monday. St. Thomas's half of the bracket includes Middlesex, who Metuchen has played tough this season. Monroe has a really good program. JFK, who Metuchen had that thrilling win over last week, have the 12th seed. But Metuchen really impressive for a Blue Division school to be seeded as highly as they are. From what I saw from Lauren Nego on Twitter, they said it was a lengthy deliberation. I bet there were some people who were saying against blue division opponents the fact that they've struggled in some of these games against red and white division teams. But you know what? They're still the 3 seeds, and they're doing a pretty good job. So top of the 6th inning, Abby Kozo leading off. Abby Kozo pitching here, and leading off is Isabel Parcells, who's driven in a couple of RBI singles today. She's 2 for 2 today, and she's going to bounce this one over to short, and it comes in between Zapp and Pachalski, nearly a collision between the two of them as they both chased after the ball. And Parcells is on for the 3rd time this afternoon. So she has 3 hits. Rest of the team just 4. And that'll bring up Castro. Alexa Castro 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out to her ledger today. And she watches that one go high for a ball. That one's in there for a strike. Metuchen. In the next inning, we'll have McGrath, Pachalski, and Kozo up as they sent 9 to the plate for the 2nd time today. This time bringing home a game-high 5 in an inning.
I got the all girls in the 1600, all girls 1600 report now.
Kozo with 10 strikeouts today. Emily 2 is on deck. As that one is going to be hit out to center field. That's going to get down for the base hit. So back-to-back singles here for Dunellen as they try to chip away from Parcells and Castro. So now 2 on base here for Emily 2, who's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. The next 3 batters are combined 0 for 6 with 6 strikeouts. So they're all looking to break through and improve upon what has been a tough day to this point. Looking for a potential bunt. McGrath and Flaherty both coming really far in. Looking to bunt, pulling back. Zapp goes over to cover 3rd, but neither runner's going anywhere. And while you could be looking for a bunt, the other thing you really don't want is a big, deep hit over their heads, and we've already seen something like that today, where they had Flaherty at first a little too far in, and it led to a single. So definitely got to be wary. Kozo's pitch here popped off the screen. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. This one is driven out. Right field. Flaherty coming over near the golf cart makes the catch. Parcells tags, heads to 3rd. Throw is dropped by McGrath. Probably wouldn't have thrown that ball to 3rd because that allows another run to advance into scoring position. So both runners move up on the fly out to right by 2. And that'll bring up Liz Burr, who struck out twice. So Metuchen up 12-3 in the top of the 6th, GMC Tournament Round 1. The boys baseball team unfortunately blew a 7th inning lead and were eliminated by North Brunswick back on Saturday. Here's the pitch from Kozo. That one is in there for a strike. This one is a shot over to 2nd. Runners can't go anywhere. Pachalski with the nice underhanded toss over to 1st, and that's out number 2. Perfectly placed, perfect positioning by the defense, and Dunellen stays off the board right there. So 2 away. Here's Chalecki, who's also struck out twice today. So the first two batters reached base. Nothing since. And the first pitch to Chalecki misses. Emily Chalecki, the second baseman, hitting .286, 4 RBI this season. That one, the rise ball adds some heat to it. A little bit of a dust cloud there, 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 11 strikeouts for Abby Kozo. 2 runners reach base, but Abby Kozo able to retire the next 3. Metuchen will come up to the plate. Bottom of the 6th inning coming up, 12-3, Dogs on top. This is the GMC softball tournament. Eddie Kalegi live on the Bulldog Report. Renovitz ready to pitch the bottom of the 6th. Metuchen, for the second time today, sent 9 to the plate in the 5th, putting up 5 runs. It's 12-3 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Mary McGrath will lead off. She's 1 for 2, a single, reached down an error, walked, and has scored twice. Metuchen has done damage from top to bottom in this lineup. 7 of their 9 hitters have at least 1 hit today. Only exceptions are Flaherty and Frick, who have both struggled, a combined 0 for 8 with 3 strikeouts, 5 groundouts. But other than that, those are the only 2 hitters that Renovitz has had a good time with, as that throw goes back over to Renovitz, gets into her, as McGrath will be retired for the first out. And now Carly Pachelski, and she watches the first one go high for a ball. Metuchen will look to close it out in the top of the 7th, where they will be facing the top of the order in Cassidy, Roberts, and Renovitz, as completely crossed up there was the first baseman for the Destroyers as she took a tumble trying to get to that ball. That was Parcells, and the runner's going to reach base, so Pachelski's on with a 1-out single. Some of the unsung heroes, like Carly Pachelski, having a really good day. She's now 3 for 4 with 3 singles. That'll bring up Kozo. First pitch tails high and in, and Pachelski is going to swipe second. Stolen base, Carly Pachelski, and Metuchen has a runner in scoring position. And Kozo gets into one, out to right center field, coming over, catch is going to be made. Pachelski tags, heads to third, in safely. So Kozo is retired for the first time today after reaching base in her first 4 plate appearances, but it gets Pachelski over to third. 2 outs, bottom 6, Metuchen up 12-3. Noelle Leaf, the batter. First pitch is going to be upstairs, ball 1.
800, second place. Where's Tucker? I am waiting for that to get updated. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, they got messed up.
Leaf 1 for 3, a double, a sac fly, 2 pop-outs, and 3 RBI. It's Metuchen, if they can hang on, would face either Old Bridge or Spotswood in the GMC quarterfinals. Here's the pitch to Leaf. She's going to take that one upstairs for a ball. We talked about the small strike zone with her. The small strike zone throughout the day. Renovitz and Kozo, two pitchers who tend to try to paint the corners, especially the outside corner, and just haven't been able to get the calls today. Is that one in there for a strike? Leaf looking to do something here at the plate. This one is hit to right field. That's going to get down for a hit. It's an RBI for Noel Leaf to make it 13-3. And that's going to do it. Metuchen up by 10. Mercy rule in play for the round of 16. And the Metuchen Bulldogs will advance to the quarterfinals as they take it 13-3. A big day for several players in the offensive side. Carly Pachelski, 3 singles, 3 runs scored. Leslie Flaherty had 4 hits, drove in 4 runs. Brianna De La Fuente, 3 hits, including 2 triples, 2 RBI, 3 runs scored. Noel Leaf drives in 4 on a 2-for-4 day. But that'll just about wrap up today's broadcast. A thank you to everybody who tuned in. A thank you to our athletic director, John Cathcart, for helping to set everything up. And we hope you join us next time here on the Bulldog Report. I'm Eddie Kalegi signing off. Once again, your final score in 6 innings, Metuchen 13, Dunellen 3. We'll see you next time. Eddie Kalegi on the Bulldog Report signing off. Congrats to the Bulldogs on their victory this afternoon.